Welcome back to week 35 of the West Marches. So you guys got a bunch of loot, and you found some scrolls. So let's sort through everything. Are y'all going to take a short rest and identify this spear, for example?
Yeah, let's short rest. Let's pile all the bodies up with the logs and shit, so that we'll strip them all down, put all the loot in a pile, and then we'll dig through it. Now, because you're a thief, and I know you're motivated by the monies, Darius. You're alone with the corpse of the person you chased down. If there's any loot that was specifically on that person, obviously you could take it and not tell us. I just want to make sure you get your opportunity to do that.
Does she have specifically any loot to her?
I think she had on her some portion of the total. So yeah, she probably had 30 gold pieces or something.
Okay, so I'll drop the total first before, and then you just add 30 if you want to take that gold and not tell us.
Okay. I think Darius probably would, especially since he's the one that chased her down. So.
Oh yeah, totally. So neither Adam nor Grigori would begrudge you that.
In the group pool, there's only 80 gold instead of 110.
Yeah, so I did all the math for us. So there'd be 399 gold total after we pile up all the gems and that stuff.
Yeah.
Which means if we split the gold evenly, it's 99.75 gold apiece.
Okay.
Okay, and then so everybody make sure you mark that you have 99.75. And then we have 2 scrolls that nobody in the party can use because they're wizard spells or whatever. So we'll hang on to those, or we can sell them in town if we find a wizard. We can use them. Actually, we could use them to trade if we find like a dragon scholar, where we can be like, but what about these scrolls?
Mm-hmm.
We have one scroll of control water.
Yeah.
Which I can cast. It controls water.
Tilly can use these, right? These
yeah, so hang on. Here's the official rules straight from the Dungeon Master's Guide. If the spell is on your class's spell list, you can use your action to read the scroll and cast the spell without having to provide any of the spell's components. Otherwise, the scroll is illegible. If the spell is on your class's spell list but of a higher level than you can normally cast, you must make an ability check using your spellcasting ability to determine whether you cast it successfully. DC is 10 plus the spell's level. On a failed check, it disappears with no effect. Yes.
So same thing stands, right? Like I could cast control water. I'd have to make the check. Now, yeah, Ella, you were asking, do you have, because sometimes some versions of Thieves have a read scroll ability.
I don't think that I have that yet.
You're going to be able to activate magical devices when you are a higher level.
Okay, so do you want to hang on to those then? And is that just Thief or is that any rogue?
That's just Thief.
Okay, cool. All right, so Tilly, why don't you take those 2 scrolls?
Okay.
Maelstrom and what was the other ones you went? Odaluk's Resilient Sphere.
Yes, it's all in roll.
Oh man, now you can cast that Resilient Sphere and you can pull out your magic bong and you can hotbox that sphere. Damn, Tilly getting tore up in this piece. All right, cool. Nice. I know what party at Tilly's house. We have the plate armor, which we'll have to tie up and lug out there, but we can sell it basically for some amount, half price, I think Steven said.
Yeah.
And then we have the spear. So yeah. What does the spear do, Steven? I spend my short rest examining the spear.
Okay, so this is the Spear of Reverent Wounding. It's an artifact spear that requires attunement. It constantly bleeds a black liquid that oozes from its point. It is a +1 magic weapon. It deals 1d6 -1 piercing damage, and for each wound dealt by this spear, the creature so wounded bleeds for 1 point of damage per round until it can rest, heal, or bandage itself. And that's why it's not poison, Chad.
Right. Cool. So it's like a bleed effect.
Yes.
Wicked. I can use spears. I would love to take that thing. Again, we can't hear you, Guyan. You have a silent spell cast upon you, my friend.
I spend my short rest examining my egg to see if there was any change.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think you feel the heat inside of this egg. And that's all.
There's still heat.
Yeah. Yeah, it's still warm.
Okay.
Tilly would really like that tiara.
Murder princess.
Tilly caught a glimpse of that tiara as soon as she shot off the first arrow.
Oh yeah. Ooh. Yeah, girl, get it.
Hang on. Whoa, is she gonna pay for that shit?
I raise up the tiara, and I just say, does anyone mind if I take this?
I'm like, no, I already have fancy hat. It looks good on you.
I smile to myself and turn around and secretly put it on, and I'm like,
I wink at you whenever you put it on.
God, it's like we're really fucked up parents, and we're ruining you because we're like, good work, Tilly. You murdered all those people. Now you can have a fancy tiara. You're our little princess.
Rewards for murder.
Yeah, murder rewards.
She sits up and she says, us or them, right? And then I smile at Grigori.
So, Gallahan, I want to have a conversation with you about these jerks. Actually, we could probably all be around throwing things in the fire.
Yeah.
So, it's clear we are being pursued. Maybe there are more of them, maybe not. I told you we should have killed this asshole before, but, well, we did it now. I am worried, though. Looks like they have anti-dragon religion, which means, to me, more importantly, anti-Gallahan religion. You're feeling concerned about this, or no?
I kind of pat the doc on the back. I'm like, Doc, I've never been especially well liked. This is, it's to be expected, really. Eventually there was going to be an anti-Gallahan fan club.
It's fine. They say is no attention, bad attention, I think. Listen, if it works out this way every time, we'll be fine. Everything they throw at us only makes us stronger. We are having magic spear now, which we did not have yesterday. I am just concerned there might be agents of... and I look at one of the falcon symbols. I'm like, is not knife you can see that is dangerous. Is knife you cannot comes in the dark. I don't want you to die in your sleep. I mean, or me, either.
Yeah, maybe no, you're right. But this little egg here is clearly something a lot of people want. So we should hold on to it.
While they're talking, Tilly is walking up to some of the corpses that aren't, as burnt, and she's starting to kind of cut them open.
Yeah, girl.
And
You're
she
just dissecting.
starts sort of trying her best to pull out the innards of these people, and she's starting to spread them around.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you totally bisect some of these corpses and spread out their innards.
I catch a glance. At
yeah, dude. Because I've probably got my back.
I'm like, Doc, you're fucking that kid up.
And I'm eating bread and just watching and shaking my head. I know what's going on, but I'm just like, oh god.
Yeah. I turn around and then I say quietly to you, Gallahan, I'm like, no, it's fine. Young persons have curiosity about the world, want to know how things work. Sometimes is less bloody than this, but I think is important we let her see. Let's not interrupt. And I watch for a little while.
And
so what is it?
I kind of stand up and stretch, and I'm like, you're of the biased opinion, aren't you, Doc? So
I see that they kind of glance over at me, and when they do, I've got intestines and blood on my hands, and I kind of look back, and I give a little smile, and I keep going back to work.
I'll come over to you, and I'll ask you. I'll be like, so what do their insides tell you? What is it you see?
What are you looking for, Tilly?
Oh, I'm not looking for anything. I just thought we could scare the people coming down the path like you did last time, right? Yes,
it's a good plan, but I think we are not being pursued any longer. But does not mean that there is no reason to cut open body, to look at insides. So rare do we get to see the way a person works. Look, you see that thing? And I point at some glistening organ, and I'm like, that thing normally is pumping blood through whole body. You put knife in it, blood stops, body stops. Now you know where it is. inside ribs.
I lift up my hands, which has intestines in them, and I say, "What does this do?"
Yeah, I'm like, careful with that. You break it, it will be uncomfortable for everyone. Is space between stomach and when body is finished with food. Best put that down.
I just kind of drop it, and I just kind of stay there, like staring at you.
Yeah. I'm like, and I smile.
I kind of look, and I said, and I just kind of say, like, should I continue? Should I not? I'm starting to feel a little self-conscious about what I'm doing.
Totally.
Until it kind of felt like this is what we did with corpses to kind of scare people. So now that this isn't happening, it's like, now that you're kind of like, we don't really need to do that. I'm kind of like, I don't.
And I think I notice you getting like a little uncomfortable, and I want to reinforce you. So I'm like, listen, sometimes sending messages is not about telling enemies who are following you that they should be scared. Sometimes sending messages to tell the gods to fuck off and that you are in control of your own destiny. Their gods sent them to kill us, and we killed them. And even though there are no other men around to know that we did it, and I like look up at the sky, I'm like, someone is watching. And this is what we say to them, and I like flip the bird at the sky. And like, point to the bodies, I'm like, yes, we will not burn these ones. They are yours. Think of as a palette. Paint picture for the gods. Tell them how you feel.
I like look down and look back up, and I like look back at you, and I'm trying to process all of this, and I just kind of mutter to myself, that makes me uncomfortable. To think people are always watching me. I go ahead and start kind of, putting out the intestines and innards and stuff, but it looks like there's a little bit of steam loss now, and once I'm done, I kind of look back up, and I kind of like question, like confused, kind of go.
Yeah. And I put my hand on your shoulder, and I'm like, do not worry. It's always difficult the first time. Your design will improve. You will get better.
This feels wrong. That's what she says.
Yeah.
At the end, she says it feels wrong, but...
All right, so...
and just mutters under his breath, fucking animals.
Yeah, Tilly and Grigori have a nice bonding movement over the dissecting of intestines, and then you all hit the road, and you're heading straight for
We're on the road again.
Yeah. Now, by the end of the day, you end up at the tail end of a road at the base of a mountain, and it spirals up, curving and carving its way through the rock up towards some massive gates that you can see up at the top as nighttime falls. I know. I think dawn comes pretty early. You guys no longer have anybody pursuing you. You look behind you. You see no signs of pursuit of any sort. And the next day, you set off early, marching up the path, climbing your way into the mountains. So
Cool.
Let's see. At the end of the day, you reach the front gates of Great Pyranor. There are large black stone basalt walls that are built up with massive wooden gates that are carved out of some black wood. The gates stand open, and there's a hustle and bustle of people who are coming into and out of the city center. Now, for the last maybe half of a day, you are walking past slums and small huts and small like farm fields that are clinging to the sides of mountains, rice paddies, and general sort of vegetable farms. You're passing people who, for all intents and purposes, they look completely normal. There's nothing particularly strange looking about the people that you're passing. They look at you with strange glances and then go back to their tasks, whether it's pulling weeds or shepherding pigs up the path towards the city, or even, setting up stands along the side of the roads with, cooking hot meats or selling small knickknacks and things.
I stick close to the party. This is all
No, it's your
very
time.
new to me.
Now's your time to shine. You're a thief.
I am not. I'm very, very much like kind of scooting closer towards the three of you, because this is all very new to me. This is a totally different place, and I'm very
like-
small.
I'm like, winking at all the ladies as we walk past.
Yeah. A number of them blush and some of them turn away. There's probably like a group of young girls, probably late teens, who are tittering to each other behind their hands as they see you walk by.
Yeah, there
just strutting with pride, just strutting proudly along the street.
Yeah. Now you have this large sack on your back, right? You've got the eggs swaddled again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
He's just, put it under your shirt so that way it's like
a big tummy. Yeah, okay, so, here you are, if not within the city proper, but certainly you have reached another large bastion of civilization out in the wilderness. You're looking back over the plains beyond. You can see a number of the places where you stopped and spent the night, including the pass that you just fought these pursuers in. What do? You've heard rumor that there's someone here who knows enough about dragons to be able to guide you in the path of hatching this egg.
I have been adventurer long enough to know if you want information, best place is to have seen in tavern. So I say to Gallahan, I turn, I look around, I'm like, ugh, cities, these places make me sick. But what they do have is drinks. Are you thirsty? I am feeling very thirsty.
And I already pushed past, like, yeah, man. And I'm already on my way.
Nice.
Yeah.
Got that radar, like, oh, I need.
Yeah. So I'm like, look, we have Bloodhound, but for drinking. Lead on. I'll follow you.
Before they walk off, I kind of tug on Grigori's cloak or his arm or something to get his attention. Yeah. And I say that, I've got some experience looking for information in cities. Would you want me to look around, ask a few questions?
Yeah, and I kneel down so that we're like more or less like eye level, and I say, your skills will come in very handy for us, but I think first we go looking for what is known, then I will have you seek out what is hidden. Come, have a drink with us. You have earned it. It's been a long couple of days.
I've never had a drink before.
And I laugh like loud. I'm like, oh, teaching children how to drink is my specialty.
I overhear this and I'm just like kind of shaking my head because Gallahan likes the dock because there's only one dock, right? He's not into a mini-me version as well, and that's what it's like quickly becoming.
And I turn around, I'm like, are you guys coming? I'm thirsty.
Nice.
Yes, no, we are coming. Listen, make slow. We have little legs here.
Keep your pants on.
I tell everyone that I'm fine. I try to, assert myself and walk quickly with them.
Okay. Yeah, as you enter the gates, the sun disappears behind the mountains and darkness envelops the streets. Let's see what I can describe for you of your entry into Great Pyranor.
So Pyranor, I'm imagining Pyranor, and correct me if I'm wrong, but like as far as architecture goes, I'm imagining what's that city in Gondor where it's like built into, or and it's all like built into the mountain, so it's all kind of like steep as fuck.
So imagine that, except without any of the order that you see in Gondor. Yeah. Gondor is a very sort of tiered, ordered city that's carved into the mountain. This is that same sort of thing, but where Gondor is tiered and regulated, Pyranor is like tunnels punching into the rock and like chasms where there are rope bridges stringing across, and like shanty huts sort of stacked up on the side of a cliff, and like one of them looks like it's just about to collapse into the abyss below. There's people lining the streets here. This main avenue that you're walking down right now, it's the air around you is sort of filled with the whispering of voices and the flutterings of paper, and there's a scent of ozone that hangs heavy on the streets here, and the shadows as you walk past, they seem to bend and twist as you walk past. The lights from the nearby towers, I guess you might call them towers. They're not really. It's more like walls, like cliff walls built out of stone with windows going all the way up the sides.
It's like somewhere between Minas Tirith and like the favela of Rio. Like everything's all like kind of jammed in. And cool.
Absolutely. And you see people walking past with like bundles of books sort of wrapped up with a leather belt. And there are folks with like thick set glasses walking around. Some ways down, probably like a 6 or 8 minute walk away, you can see peeking over the horizon a great crooked tower that looks like it was probably destroyed and rebuilt dozens of times over the centuries of its life. So here you are in the hustle and bustle of the late evening Pyranor. You're looking for somewhere to get a drink, right? You're gonna just like find somebody to ask them and try to find out where there's a tavern you could.
I'm following Darius's lead. This is Darius's show.
I'm going to the tavern, and the first thing I'm gonna do is find like the most attractive person in the room and start hitting on him.
So you don't know where a tavern is yet.
Oh, can I ask?
You just go into the nearest building and start hitting on.
Yeah, you just walk into the building. So
give me a drink. You
I go
over
to
and
the
sit in my
egg
lap.
keeper.
Yeah.
Like, this is.
Oh, can I
This
stop
is a
and ask someone?
blacksmith.
Yeah, absolutely. Roll a maybe there's some kind of a skill for that. Let me see here.
Hey, do you mind telling me where you live? I mean, where the tavern is?
Persuasion, maybe?
You mind telling me where you drink? Yeah, roll a persuasion test.
I'll do that.
Well, that's happening. Oh, never mind.
Oh.
Wow,
Well,
damn,
no,
Darius.
So
You got a
Nice.
+7 and you still. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you approach.
I hit on a guy, and he's not into it.
Let's see here.
I start
Yeah.
hitting on myself.
Yeah, you're having a long conversation with someone who's like really beautiful and not very responsive. Then you realize you're looking into a fountain. Hey, beautiful, how you doing? Yeah.
Where's the tavern? Oh, you don't know?
I was just gonna say that.
Let's see. I gotta grab my notebook here.
Stephen, are
Yeah,
we seeing like a diverse amount of races here, or are they all pretty much, one race, or what? Like, as
Steven,
far as
can I make this easier by assisting her persuasion check?
I should give
are-
them a chance to
Yeah,
say
I'm
so.
going to do that. I'm trained in persuasion.
you're trained?
so-
Yeah, absolutely. You assist, and then you find the person. Mm-hmm. And yes.
The person I'm persuading becomes a dragon and eats us.
Yeah, so you stop a woman on the street. What do you say to her when you approach her?
Is she attractive?
Let's roll for
Does
hotness.
it matter?
Yes.
It's relative, right? Like she may be considered attractive among the locals, but whether you consider her attractive or not.
She is the average of attraction for a woman her age. She's slightly older, probably 45. She looks fine. Like she's had a little bit of a hard life. So let me tell you about the area around you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a moderately wealthy area. It looks like the streets are fairly well maintained. The people are fairly wealthy, probably around the level of wealth that you all portray outwardly. Though, of course, individually, you are all fantastically wealthy from your adventuring. And the buildings are well made and well fit together, and there are not many vagrants. In fact, you can see occasional clusters of militia members going around and sort of scooping people off of stoops and shooing them along their way. You see a woman, she has long, curly, dark hair, and she's wearing a red tunic. And as you approach her, she sort of nods at you as she's walking on her way.
And I sort of I give her a glance like I'm not interested, but then I go, excuse me, actually, I think I've seen you somewhere. Do I know you? I'm pretty sure I ran into you.
She says,
is your name Emily or Esmer? Is it Esmeralda? Does it start with a name? I don't.
It's Zira. It's nice to meet you.
Oh, okay. No, I'm sorry, but you look just like this girl that I had a huge crush on growing up. I'm so sorry. I thought maybe it was you.
I get that a lot.
Darius, you're such trash. And they say I'm the predator.
Wow.
So,
and then I
what can I do for you?
Oh, me and my buddies back here. Don't mind them. They're kind of
She looks over your shoulder.
They're a bit odd.
I just kind of give her one of these.
They're just visiting. They're visiting for a while, and I want to take them to a tavern. See, I haven't been here in so long. I don't remember where it is. I'm kind of lost.
You are looking for a tavern.
Yeah, somewhere to drink, somewhere to kick back. Where do you usually drink? What do you
Let's
recommend?
find out.
She's like, my bed.
Out of your belly button.
Exactly. Are you familiar with body shots? I have a +10 to hit.
God, I don't like all this rolling.
Yeah, she says, "Oh, for me, the best drink in town is the Shrieking Wife. It's nearby."
Are you married?
Me? No, I am a widower.
That's a drink. Oh, yeah. Can you show me where that is?
It's a bit far, and I'm looking to get back to my shop, but I can tell you how to get there.
Oh, you work around here, yeah?
Just a few streets over.
Where do you work? What do you do?
I'm a weaver. You see, and
Right.
she sort of opens her basket that she's carrying, and she has spools and spools of thread in there.
So while these two are talking, I lean over to Gallahan and I'm like, oh, look, is a innocent shopkeep woman. Good thing Kellen isn't here, or he would fall in love.
He'd probably wear that nice new outfit of his.
Oh, it's beautiful. Look around and like, this place is full of fancy Kellens.
Tilly laughs, but you know that she doesn't understand a thing you just said. But she's like, just kind of, yeah, okay.
Callahan's
yeah.
Cool. It's cool,
loudly.
Tilly. That's how we pretend that we're human. We
Yeah,
laugh at
yeah.
things that are obviously
Callahan
jokes.
coughs loudly to get Darius's attention.
Um,
He's not sticking to the mission right now.
Oh, he's totally sticking to the mission. Come on.
Yeah,
We're asking her what
um,
she does for a living. We're trying to go to the fucking tavern.
He-
How is that
he,
sticking to the
like-
Okay,
mission?
we want to get in. It's fine. Darius is very good at getting in.
He sort of reaches in and like touches some of the spools of what she has in there. I'm like, do you make shirts? Do you make undergarments at all?
Oh, I simply weave the cloth. That's all that I do. I pass
you
off
just
the
sell
cloth
it?
to the tailors that take it and use it.
Well, how about I come by later and I'll buy some of that cloth off of you. But first, point us in the direction.
Callahan starts laughing. He looks at Doc.
Yeah.
He's like, Kellen 2.0, Kellen 2.0.
I will buy some of that cloth
She says-
off of you.
If you know what I'm saying.
No, I get it. It's good.
She says, "All right, yes. It's just down this way. You need to go to the right here and follow the path around. It curves around and then it intersects at a bright lamppost in the center of the intersection. You need to take the left fork and you'll see it. It's very obvious. The Shrieking Wife. It sounds quite loud. There's usually raucous laughter coming from out of the entrance."
And I look back to Grigori and I'm like, so we want to head there now?
I shrug. I'm like, if there is drinks and it is open, let's go spend some of this blood money.
I ain't getting any younger.
I pass her a gold coin and I say thank you, and I just start walking away.
She pockets it and she says,
I give her a wink too.
she says, "Oh, many thanks." And then she turns around and begins striding off happily back in the direction she was heading originally.
I watch her as she walks off. I watch her ass as I can,
Okay, yeah, totally. Just admiring.
just admiring.
Yeah.
I pocket it, or she pockets it.
Oh,
She pockets
yeah.
I get it, because it's your name.
it. It's my name.
That's wonderful. Wonderful and terrible.
And we're done.
Okay.
Also, Chad, stop making fun of Steven. He's obviously rolling on the random accents table every time he starts a sentence, and
Yeah,
that's really
seriously,
hard to
come
do.
on.
So chill. Come on.
You did, in fact, notice that her accent was actively shifting. It's not just me being a terrible DM. Okay, cool. Yes.
So, can I turn back to Grigori and be like, did you notice anything about her? Because I think, would Darius pick up? He'd probably pick up on that since he was, like, in her face hitting on her. Or, well.
Oh, yeah, no, Darius totally noticed that.
And so I turned back. I'm like, did you notice anything different about her? She seemed a little unique.
I kind of like put my hands up. I'm like, I wasn't paying as close attention as you. What do you mean unique?
Are you in love already, are you? Only been here 2 minutes.
Oh, well, I mean, maybe in love for the evening, but that's it. No, her accent. Could you pick up where she's from? Like, none of you paid attention?
You all sound strange to me. How can I tell one person from another?
Yeah, but she
He's got
sounded
a
strange
point.
in one way, and then she sounded strange in another way.
Yeah, I don't know. This whole place is confusing.
Oh, don't worry. I put my hand on Grigori's shoulder, and I'm like, I'll get down to the bottom of it later.
Yeah, I
just
don't
walk
doubt
away.
that.
Very nice. Yeah, you head down a side alley that this woman Zira pointed down, and you head curving around as the houses sort of bend and twist and force the road in strange directions.
It
And there are
occurs
all
to me
sorts of-
it occurs to me we should be careful because I've played video games before, and when you talk to the friendly NPC and they're like, just head down that dark alley, that's waiting for an ambush. Yeah, the bar's at the end of the alley. It's called the Thieves Guild. Just pop on down there.
Yeah, yeah. So let's see.
Actually, on that point, I would like to see if I could find any kind of thieves' cant markings or anything here in the city.
Yeah. Okay.
Sigils.
So hang on. Tilly, you asked about the non-human population in this area,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
Looking around, probably about 15 of every 100 people that you're passing is someone non-human, whether that's an elf or a dwarf or another halfling like yourself. It varies, but yeah, roughly 15% of people here
Okay.
are non-human. And give me a perception test.
Sure. There we go.
16. Yeah, you do see some thieves' symbols in the area. What are you looking for specifically?
Just any kind of identifying markers of, just trying to gather as much information as possible. Where there might be easy targets, what is safe for thieves, what if not, especially this dark alley. Do I sense that there's any kind of muggings that happen in this alley? Just any information I could gather from my surroundings, pretty much.
Yeah, you approach the intersection with the lantern out in the middle of it, and there's sort of like a small hedge that's square around the lantern, very neatly trimmed, very nicely taken care of, and then a tall silver lantern that's burning brightly. It's an oil lamp, and it's just out in the middle of an intersection, a foot road basically. And you see on the other side, crossing it and heading off to the left, you start seeing a series of thieves' symbols above doors or on posts. And they're quite subtle for people who, unlike yourself, are not trained to recognize them. But for you, it's very obvious. And some of them are saying, ally here. Some of them are saying, tell a sob story. And some of them are saying, stay away, beware of dog, that sort of thing. But you can tell immediately that there are many more thieves' symbols in that direction than there were before.
I kind of whistle to Darius.
I walk over.
And I just sort of ask him what he thinks about the symbols.
Would I think anything? I mean...
You see exactly the same thing, especially once Tilly points it out. You see these symbols that mean, tell a sob story or beware of dog or ally here, that sort of thing.
Praise the sun, illusory
Praise
wall
the sun.
ahead.
I'm just kind of making you aware of them because you're a rogue also, so you should innately be able to pick up on this.
Can I do a perception check at all and see if I notice anything about the alley?
Yeah, absolutely. Roll for it, please. 15. You don't notice anything that Tilly hasn't pointed out.
Okay, well then I sort of just say, well, if we really are going to a tavern, I'm not surprised that there might be some shenanigans going on around here. I think we should just be a little more careful and make sure that we don't get our pockets picked.
I nod and then walk over to Grigori and let him know that what's going on, what I'm seeing, and that in the direction we're going, it looks like there's more activity from the Thieves Guild. So, just to be on.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Good work.
I keep walking.
Nice. Yeah, after some minutes of walking, probably 3 or 4 minutes from your current location, you end up sort of dead ending as this pathway curves around, and it looks like there's a rowdy tavern front. There are a couple of tables set outside with small candles on them. The warm glow from inside is spilling out onto the street. It's very well attended. There are a number of what look to be like university-age students sitting out front, either reading thick tomes or scrawling on scrolls with quills. And inside, you can already see people throwing darts at a board, deep in the back. But there's probably 50 or 60 people in here. And there's some incredibly sexist sign hanging in front that depicts some woman shrieking as a man is probably like trying to like grab at her skirt or something like that. So this is the scene that greets you when you reach the Shrieking Wife.
Well,
You just straight enter
I just go on in and go up to start ordering drinks.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, you head up to the bar. There's a woman who greets you, and she sets her elbows on the table and says, "What can I get for you?"
I turn back to Gallahan. Are you not drinking?
What do you mean, am I not? Why would I
Do you
come
want-
here if I wasn't going to drink? So just
Lady
get me a
asked what
drink.
you wanted. Okay, fine. Well, I'll have a pint. You're just your house beer, whatever.
Four of those.
Whatever.
Make
Four.
it 4.
Make it 4.
Nice.
You
She
see
turns
seven.
around.
4 for you.
I say to you-
Why are you drinking 4?
That's what I was gonna say. It's like, well, what about drinks for the rest of us?
Yeah. No. Okay, 4 for him, and 1 for the rest of us.
She doesn't
Yeah,
know
nice.
you very well, Doc.
She
Yeah.
looks at you askance, and then goes and gets 5 mugs and pulls them from the taps.
Once she puts the mug, like the mugs on the counter, I'm like, no, none of this will do. And I like put some gold on the counter, and I'm like, shush. And I walk around the bar, and I pick up the keg, and I'm just like, ugh. I'm like, okay, it's fine. We will take this to table. And I walk over to the table.
And
Nice.
I grab 4 of the mugs anyway. 'Cause I can't.
Okay. Yeah, she is kind of stunned when Grigori does that. Grigori, you get over to the table and set the keg down, and when you look up from carrying this heavy thing, there's 8 burly men surrounding you, bristling with daggers, knives, swords, clubs, and other assorted weaponry. They've got
Oh my God.
leather armor sort of belted to them, and all of a sudden you can tell the entire bar is like deathly quiet. The person in the back throwing darts has stopped throwing.
I walk up and I'm like, "How you doing?"
Surrounded by 8 burly men is just how I like it.
I think
So, yeah,
I think
It's like a normal Friday night for us.
Yeah.
the man who looks like the primary guy, he puts like a hand on your chest, Darius. He says, "Step aside. This is between us and the fat one."
And I sort of looked at him. I'm like, "Whoa, the fat one's with me. What seems to be the problem?"
We don't take kindly to thievery here in this tavern.
But he
start
just
laughing.
paid for it.
I
He
started
just-
laughing. I'm like, oh, no, it's not thievery. I am not stealing. I am going to drink this beer. And you, my good friend, you are going to help me drink it.
He sort of he pauses and he looks over at the bar. You did pay for it, Grigori.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Put like a handful of gold coins on the table.
The woman at the bar, Lola, she picks up a gold coin and just holds it up, and the guy just sort of like relaxes and he puts his hand on his friend's sides and he gestures to them, says, "Well, it's really not every day that we see someone picking up a keg for the bar. If you're buying, then we'll gladly join you. I must have misjudged you. My name's Inlonis."
And as he talks, I like shove one of the mugs at his chest because I'm carrying 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I say to him, don't worry, friend. Fighting to defend your beer is a very noble cause. You are welcome to drink with us if you like. We are curious about this place. It seems city is not amenable to tough folk like you or me. Tell me of your struggles. Sit.
Well, he sort of looks around. He says, "You're a strong man. Why don't you carry that over into the back?" He gestures to a back corner where there's another couple of guys, drinking at a table already. He says, "We'll join you in just a second."
I look at Darius for the what do you think? Because if you think this is a bad deal, or if they're VIP rooming us, it's your call.
Can I see anything?
Get insight or
about
something?
it?
I'm good. I'm pretty good at insight too. I'll help you if you want to make that roll.
Well,
Okay.
no, my insight, I don't specialize in it, so I mean, I could still do that. I could still do that, and then you help me. But
I guess maybe I'll read them, and then I'll let you make the call. I want you to be the obvious boss of the party here.
Okay. So you're just gonna relay what you see to Darius.
You're gonna have a pretty boy be I'm the boss.
Yeah, totally. Well,
All right, go ahead and roll your insight check.
Okay, let me grab my character sheet here. Yeah, because this is a C. This is your jam. So I want to give you the opportunity to do that. So my insight is 20. Boom.
Nice. Yeah. He's wary of you. He doesn't like that you. It's less about stealing and less about the beer and more that he feels like this is his place. You can see him sort of shaking hands and nodding to people around the bar. And give me a perception check also.
Okay. I want to Grigori is aware of that. I've definitely come up in his house, and now I'm I have more money than you. I have tougher friends than you. I'm being super polite, and I'm going to use your social mores against you. If we were out in the wild, you'd try to stab me, but we're in a bar, and you are scared.
Yeah.
Totally. So let's see. My perception is also pretty good. 16.
Okay, cool. 16. Yeah, you can see that a number of the folks that he's putting a hand on or saying hi to, they've all got weaponry secreted around their bodies. Secreted around their bodies.
I mean, if they're secreting weapons, that's a whole other thing. They're probably not humans.
I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
A woman in a deep purple dress has a stiletto attached to her calf, and a man.
I respect people with weapons. It's
A
cool.
man with a big flowing robe. He brushes his robe aside to shake the man's Ilonis's hand, and he's got a heavy cudgel by his side. This place. It's kind of a weird mix of weaponized people and university students who are getting drunk and studying. It's a strange
You want
mix.
to start a revolution. This is the place, right? The intelligentsia and the disenfranchised.
It looks like it, pretty much, yeah.
Well, I sort of.
You found a good bar.
As you look at me, I look around and I gauge it. I'm well, we're not going to get anywhere with all the students. I said, it'd suit us best to go over there and strike up is the woman with the robe and the other guy there as well, on that side with him?
Sorry, which woman?
You said there was a woman with a dark robe and all that. Because I think we kind of want to gravitate towards her. And I point her out, and I'm we might want to get to know her. She looks like she might know something, or they look like they might know something.
These are the kinds of people that Ilonis is stopping and talking to as he heads back towards that back table.
Okay,
so she's on the way. You can kind of stop and try
I would like to hit on her.
Definitely, yeah, absolutely. So, you don't get the sense that he's trying to take you out back and shake you down or anything. You get the sense he's recognizing that you're trying to do him a favor, but he wants to make sure that he's distributing the favor to the people that he wants to distribute it to, and that's those folks in the back.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm into it.
Seems fine.
Okay. Yeah, so Grigori, while you're carrying the keg down back into the back room, Darius, you're stopping and pausing and speaking with this woman? That's the plan?
Yeah, I'd like to, I guess, stop and talk to her. Yeah.
Okay.
Can you describe her a little more?
Yeah, absolutely. She's wearing a deep purple gown with a bright red corset at the center.
Deep purple.
And she's got white hair, but it's very thick white hair. What are you looking for about her specifically?
I'm looking to see I want to see if what she does, who she is, what she might know, or if she's just some sort of rich girl from around here.
Are you just trying to observe her, or?
I might strike up a conversation if there's something notable about her that's she might, know something of, because we're looking for knowledge on the egg, right?
Yes.
That's our mission here. And if she can know, like, maybe have does she have like a pendant or something that's like unique or anything magical showing?
Let's see what I find.
Roll for hotness.
Oh yes.
Can you imagine if we treated like actual people like this, where you meet somebody in real life and you're like, what factions are you affiliated with? What kind of t-shirt are they wearing? Do they have any pins on their lapel? Like, how do we know? Who do I have to grind to get rep with this guy?
Oh, rolled. She's average. Guys are like, well, I might just hit on the man.
She's average. Very nice, Poe.
Wouldn't take Poe's opinion on whether or not someone's attractive.
Yeah.
So you approach and you see she pulls out from a purse at her side a set of dice, and she throws them on the table, and the table around her cheers and roars as the game continues. She turns around and you can see, there's some sort of collection of pips on the dice.
Do they have pieces of paper and pencils on the table? Is there a small map divided into squares? I take from my cloak a character sheet and lay it on the table. This is a game I know how to play.
So it looks like she's gambling, and from the stack of coins in front of her, it looks like she's winning, and that's what you see at a glance.
Have we sat down yet, or are we still just kind of heading back? And this is all happening in that.
I think the rest of you are heading into the back, but Darius has stopped and is trying to talk to this woman.
Okay.
Galahad is sat the fuck down. What do you mean? He's got like two tankards in his hands.
Tankards, yep, great.
Yeah, he's double fisting his beer.
When we sit down, by the way, Pokket, I think you might be muted or something.
No, I haven't said anything.
When we sit down, I want to start kind of etching into the side of the table, kind of as low key as I can, and I want to Thieves' Cant, and I want the message to say "New in town, needing introduction."
Yeah. Okay. Very cool. Let's find out what happens with Pokket and this woman.
Okay.
So you start scratching into the table.
As I see she's winning, like I observe it for a few minutes, and I'm like, "That's some luck you got there."
Yeah. She flashes you a smile, and she says, she looks like she's young. She's one of the university students, and her hair is obviously not natural, but you don't really know what could possibly have made it turn completely white like that. Yeah, she smiles at you and she says, "They keep me here because I win. It's fun."
They keep you here?
Oh, they keep letting me back in.
Wait, so you win and they let you back in. Do they want to lose money?
Yeah, one of the men across the table stands up and says, "We like a good game. It's no fun to just take money from everyone all the time. Most people can't hang with us."
Ah, I see. Well, you should try hanging out with us then.
Who's us? I'm sorry, who are you?
Oh, I gesture over to the merry bunch of us, just off the way. Are you guys like within range of seeing?
You're within eyesight, like across a couple tables and in another section of the place. But the man sort of looks back in that way and he says, "Back in the back room?"
Is there a back room?
Yeah, that's.
Oh, okay. I said, yeah.
He says, "Whoa, hey, listen, if you're one of Alanis's, then welcome to the bar. Listen, if we need to give you the table or anything, then just let me know, okay? There's no trouble here."
Oh yeah, no problem. Alanis's, haven't seen Alanis.
You say that?
Wait, no. How should I go about this? Can I do perception or something, or?
You could do an insight or something like that. Do insight and see.
I don't have insight either. Okay, fine. I'll try insight. Let's do insight.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
So he's just named someone.
He's named. I got that one, but.
Yeah, and he thinks that you are associated with this person, and also he is incredibly deferential to whatever this person wants, and therefore incredibly deferential to whatever you want.
Is he acting as though that person is there, like in?
Yeah, he looks to the back.
Is the dude we talked to.
Okay.
Yeah, he says,
the dude we
you're with
spoke to.
Alanis?
Yeah,
Okay.
Gallahan and I are having a conversation at our table with Alanis in which we're explaining to Alanis what irony is because he was having a hard time understanding that concept.
Yeah.
So we're just like, listen, Alanis.
Do we know? Do you guys know his name by now? You think?
I would introduce myself. I know Gallahan.
He would have introduced himself right away.
Oh, well, I didn't hear that.
I know you were hitting on you were hitting on
I
purple
was too
dress.
busy hitting on chicks.
Yeah.
This is gonna be your
Well, then,
downfall.
yeah, I just go, we're over there. He invited us over to his table. I mean, nice guy.
Is there a problem with the games? Does he? Is it?
No. I was just, pretty lady in the area.
Look, can we buy you a drink, Waza? Why don't you buy him a drink? He looks like he's a little thirsty. And the woman in the red dress.
And I have 4 drinks in hand, or 3 drinks in hand.
Yeah. The woman looks at you and says, I think he's covered.
And I drink one, and I'm like, I drink one and slam it on the table, and I go, no, I have a free hand now.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. She says, well, in that case.
Would you? And I motioned to her. Well, I motioned to her, and I was like, you can offer me a drink only if you come back and drink it with me.
She smiles, and she turns back to the men at the table. She says, well, boys, looks like I'm cashing out. And she scoops all the coins into her purse. It looks like she's made a hefty sum, 50 or 60 gold. And they all look pretty. Yeah, they all look pretty bummed that she's going to leave. But she accompanies you over to the bar, and buys a drink for you.
Okay, I'd say after we get the drink, we just go back. I ask her for a name before we do that, obviously. But yeah.
Yeah, she shakes your hand, or tries to, I guess, as you're at the bar. She says, my name is Waza.
Darius.
Nice to meet you, Darius. So
head over. I got to see what my friends are at. But, of course, we'll continue this conversation. Well, I'll continue talking to you. I want to get to know you. How you're so lucky. That's always good to have around.
It's not luck, Darius. It's skill. Back at the table...
I give her a wink and walk. I just walk away.
Back at the table, how's the conversation going? What are y'all doing? There's Ilanis, who's sitting down back at the back table with a number of men and women, and it's clear once you get back in here, it's much less crowded. It's not crammed all over. There really aren't any of those university students hanging around. It's an exclusive area. Like there's even a bouncer kind of keeping the section.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're in the right place. We're VIPs.
Yeah. He instructs you, sort of gestures at the table. You thump down the keg, and a number of the guys around go, hey, all right. One of them slaps you on the back, says, hey, thanks for buying our beer, stranger.
It's fine.
Ilana
don't
says,
touch me.
Ilana says, hey, back off. These guys, they're buying us drinks tonight. Isn't that right? I didn't get your name.
Says that to me?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm Grigori. I'm doctor from far away. This is
Doctor,
my friend.
Eh? One of the guys,
Gallahan.
One of the guys sitting next to you is, Doctor, eh? What, can you tell me what's wrong with this? And he takes off his boot and he sets his foot up on the table, and it's all like green.
Perfect. So when he puts his foot up on the table, I grab him by the throat and throw him on the floor because he's already off balance.
Yeah.
I'm like, problem is not with your foot, friend. Problem is with your brain. Don't speak to me. And I turn back
give me an intimidation roll.
Okay.
I'm gonna assist.
Oh yeah,
intimidation roll. I kind of shift in my seat as soon as he puts his foot on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean we know their boss now, and we're not gonna fucking talk to these nobodies.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's hope I do okay.
Oh,
21.
Look at that. That is gorgeous.
Yeah, so I just throw him on his back, and I'm like, don't fucking talk to me.
Yeah, Ilanis, he bends down and puts his knee right on the guy's sternum, just under his sternum, and he presses down and he says, Spore, don't bother our guests. And Spore is sort of gasping, Ilanis, I didn't mean anything. And then Ilanis stands up and says, we don't work for free. This doctor doesn't work for free either. You want a diagnosis, pay the man. He turns around and apologizes and says, I'm sorry about that. Spore doesn't know his manners. Why don't we all have a drink? Yeah.
That's something I can get behind.
Yeah. So he pulls out a couple mugs from a cupboard in the back. He just pulls out a bunch of them and taps the keg, pours 6, 8, 10 mugs, who knows. Hands one of them to Grigori. Says, Grigori, was it? Nice to meet you. And Gallahan, you said your friend was. Oh, well, who's this beauty? And he walks over to Waza, who's walking up with Darius, and Waza kind of laughs and says, Ilanis, this is Darius. Do you say anything?
Well, and I'm like, are you the beauty, me? Oh, she is beautiful, isn't she? She's very
Ilanis
beautiful.
laughs, says, well, Waza's a pretty known figure around here, but you look new. You're joining us also?
Yeah,
You're
and
with them?
I sort of like, I shake your hand, but, kind of catching up.
Yeah. And who's the kid?
Oh, it's not mine. Is there a kid in here?
You just look around like, kid, where?
Is there a kid?
Oh shit! What?
He's gesturing to Tilly.
And then I look at, yeah, that's half price. Yeah, she's with us.
Yeah.
She won't cause any harm.
I put my hands up and I'm like, "Is funny story." See, that is what I'm thinking too. Is small child, but no, is actually full-grown adult, but small. It's very interesting. I had never seen one until maybe a year ago. This one much better than the one before. That one too much talking. Tilly is a friend of ours as well. She looks like child, but is grown up. Is fine.
Ah, yeah, I've heard about them non-humans. We got a couple of them around town. Well, Tilly, think you can handle a full drink?
I slam one. I don't give her a choice. I slam one in front, and I'm like, there you go. Just filled it up.
Right.
I am kind of taken aback. I'm looking. I'm like that kid in college. It's like freshman, right? Who's trying to be cool. So I just decide to grab this drink and do the best I can with it and just chug it as best I can.
Nice.
And I just gotta
Tilly,
grin.
Tilly, give me a Constitution saving throw.
Sure.
I just want to see how awesome you chug it. 22. Nailed it.
You do a great. And
Tilly.
I'm sort of like, I'm taken aback, and I'm like, are you sure you've never? Did you lie to us?
I grabbed this pint, right? And
Yeah.
it's bigger than ever, to me.
Yeah.
And I just grab it and start drinking as best I can. It's kind of falling down. I'm just kind of going at it, and then I slam it on the table, and I just kind of give this little halfling burp, this little.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tilly, he puts his hand over the top of the mug, looks down on the table, and next to the mug is scrawled this thieves' cant writing that you wrote. And he just slides the mug over top of it. He looks you in the eyes and he says, "Welcome to the club." I think that's a great spot to take our third and final break for the afternoon. So don't go anywhere. We'll come back in 5 minutes with the rest of the West Marches Week 35.